Sibling rivalry. Need I say more? Today, I know, Mama, you probably have some concerns, especially in the teen stage, with your daughter getting along with her brothers and or sisters, whether they're older or younger. Siblings and getting along during the teenage stage can probably drive you crazy. I know it can, and it has when I was growing up, as well as me as a parent myself. So we're going to dive on this topic that I know that you can relate to. Building strong, healthy bonds between your teenage daughter and her siblings. So it's no secret that really the teen years can bring some distance and tensions between siblings. And as parents, it can be tough to navigate and actually watch. But I'm here to share some insight and practical steps to help foster those connections with them.
If you are frustrated with how to get your teenage daughter to open up to you because all you want is to connect with her as you once did, you're in the right place. Hey, I'm Jeannie Baldomero, a former rebellious teen, now mom of 3 young adults, educator, and the mom mentor, equipping you to create open communication with your girl so she can come to you about anything, even if she's scared. So grab your oat milk latte, breathe, and let's do this together. I know you are frustrated and confused about how to even approach your girl without having any backlash or somehow causing any offense. You simply want to know more about her because for some reason you don't feel as connected to her anymore. She talks less, not like how she used to, and you just wish things were different between the two of you. You want to know whether or not things are going okay with her. She just won't share with you, and you just don't know why. You've tried everything, but it was so hard to connect with her. I want you to know that there is still hope, Mama. You are not alone. I want you to stop feeling frustrated with your current situation, and I want you to start equipping yourself with solutions to help you reconnect with your teenage daughter. I'm going to help you understand the changes happening in your girl, how you can shift your role in this new season in teenhood, and how your relationship will flourish again by creating a space where your girl will be talking to you. Yes, your girl will be talking to you. Talk to Your Teen Girl framework is a 30-day journey that will get you creating open communication with your teenage daughter. She'll come to you even if she's scared, even if it's something hard to talk about. She'll come to you. I want you to head on over to talktoyourteengirl.com right now, and let's get started together. Are you ready?
You know, growing up, me and my brother, we had a love-hate relationship, I would say. I felt like I was more of his mom growing up because we were latchkey kids. We walked home from school to an empty home. I had the key. I was the one telling him what he needed to do every afternoon until my parents came home from work. And it just repeated day after day, and we would walk to school or sometimes carpool to school. But for the most part, on weekdays, I was the one in charge. So I became like a mom to my brother. And as we grew into junior high and teenage years and high school years, I'm only 2 years older than my brother. And I would say my middle school years were a lot rougher with him. He was the typical little brother that wanted to get into everything. Back then we had phones on the wall with cords, and he would pick up the phone and of course while I'm talking to my friends, be on there, make annoying noises, lock the door to my parents' room so I couldn't get in while he was on the phone. So you can imagine that scene. And that was how it was like in junior high or middle school with my brother. So you can imagine oftentimes we fought. But come into high school, where my brother was also in high school years, we actually got along. I think that was one of the closest times in my life that I had with my brother was in high school. We became really good friends, and we actually liked hanging out with each other. So what was the difference? I think it was maturity. I also think that it helped that we were in the same high school, and it was a small high school, and that I actually liked his friends that he hung out with too, because we were a small high school. He hung out with some of my friends, and I knew of and interacted with his friends, particularly his girlfriend at the time. Now, as a mom, I knew I valued that very much between my kids. And we were fortunate enough to be able to homeschool our kids that fostered that sense of community already. Now, do I say they don't ever fight? No, they do, like regular siblings do. But for the most part, I think it doesn't get physical. It hasn't gone to a point where they're insulting each other. They have a deep respect for one another. And I think some of the things that I'm going to share with you today was very helpful in how they interact. And now as grown adults, they actually hang out with one another, which is amazing. And my husband and I have enjoyed watching them interact with one another. Okay, do they banter? Yes. Do they insult? No. I think in the long run, they really do encourage each other, and it lifts my heart and my husband's heart that, if something happens to us, God bless us that nothing does before, we get to meet the grandkids, but they'll have each other. So I'm going to share some things that kind of has helped my family have that relationship. Okay, yes, they did fight. Yes, they had to navigate through conflict, right? But I'm going to share with you some of the things that you can do to help foster healthy relationships, even in the teen stage, even in the annoyance, even in the irritation, and even in the constant conflict, okay? So number one, establishing healthy boundaries. Oh my gosh, that's so important. Not only is it important with you, I always say, establishing healthy boundaries as a mom with your daughter, it's also helping your daughter establish healthy boundaries for herself. Okay, I think about, because I was the oldest child, I think about young siblings and allowing her to set some space for herself, right? It's important to respect each other's space. And even allowing the younger siblings, younger or older siblings, even create boundaries, because I think it's so healthy for each individual to have their space, right? We can't just invade their space every single time. Now, there's a difference between a kid having his space and a teenager having her space and an adult having, her space as well, right? There's different ways we can protect it. But is it important? Yes. I want you to encourage your teen to set boundaries and communicate with their siblings. Like, hey, this is my time. When my room is locked, it can even be a sign. When there is a red sign on the door, that means do not disturb. And unless there's an emergency, right? And we can say that as a mom, unless there's an emergency and you really need to talk to me, leave, let me have my space, right? And it has to be realistic. Obviously, sometimes siblings want to talk to their teenage sisters, right? And they want to engage with them because they've been gone from each other the whole day. And sometimes it's not received the same way from the teenage daughter. She wants her own space. Allow her to have her own space, but also help her navigate what's unhealthy and too much boundaries, right? I've learned in one of my episodes that you're going to be listening to, there's the picket fence boundary where you can still see through it. And then there's the wall. We don't want her to create the wall. That's not healthy. We want her to have a picket fence, right? Not to close herself off, but also be realistic with the space that she's trying to create for herself. This is going to help create healthy dynamics where everyone feels respected and understood. And this is such a great way for younger siblings to learn how to respect other people's boundaries, as well as older ones too. Oh my gosh. And then they can realize maybe I need to create some boundaries for myself. I can't always tell her what to do, right? Even if I'm the older sibling, there has to be some boundaries respected. Second is engaging in shared activities, right? Help guide her to really engage in some activities with her siblings rather than force sibling check-ins, right? And forced conversations with them. You can look for more natural opportunities to bond. Maybe they need a role model on how to interact with each other. Maybe family dinners, have conversations. I always do the sad, mad, glad. I mean, teenagers might be a little too old for that, but maybe a win. What was a win today and what was a challenge? And then everyone in the family can share. It's a great, healthy way to communicate and also get to know what's going on in each other's life. Maybe even in car rides, you could do that. Or having opportunities for them to collaborate on projects that they can create in a relaxed environment, right, for sibling connection. It could also just be putting something that the family wanted together. It could be like I always think of those play yards in the back. It might be extensive, but it could be as simple as, hey, let's make a garden, and do it together as a family and encourage the siblings to work together. It also could be putting a meal together, helping each other cook. One can cook and one can place, and obviously this should be happening in the family, but utilizing each other to work as a community for the family, right? And even instilling family board games. We don't do this quite as much just because my adult children are all over the place. But Fridays would always be Friday game night or movie night. Either one, they knew that Friday was a block for us to be together and engage together. It was purposeful, not only to have fun, but also opportunities to engage in conversations with each other. Okay, now, caveat to that, board games can get really competitive and might have some tension between siblings, but as parents, if we are aware of that from the beginning, then it's not about avoidance, it's about helping them. And this is going to be another part later I'll talk about, is helping them with conflict resolution. So the third is also creating meaningful traditions, just like the Friday game night, Friday movie night, because establishing these traditions emphasizes on family values, that your family matters. It is your core. It is your team, right? Team Baldomero, right? Whatever team your last name may be, we always stick together and we stick up for each other, right? This could be something like a monthly gratitude night or volunteering together. These traditions can help build a sense of unity and highlight the importance of supporting each other. And it also could be showing up for each other, whatever activities they may be. My sons, gosh, they've been to every single ballet performance my daughter has been, okay? I don't know what older brothers would do that, and I know your boys probably do as well, but to know ballet so deeply because of that sense of having to attend, supporting her, they know her world, and vice versa, right? Film, sports that they've been in, we all go together. And then lastly, it's the conflict resolution with empathy. Gosh, guiding our kids on how to resolve conflict in a healthy way. When conflicts arise, we want to guide your teen to approach their sibling with empathy and active listening, not about being attacked, not about being reactive. In my Talk to Your Teen Girl framework, there's a specific module, which happens to be the last module, talking about conflict resolution, all the tools you need, all the different types of conversations that you will have when it comes to hard conversations, conflict resolutions, and just being able to put yourself in somebody else's shoes and being first to listen. So teaching them to understand the other person's perspective and find common ground can help them, come to a resolution with more empathy instead of reactiveness. Now, this is more of a repetitive habit, I think. Our daughters specifically, because that's just such a hormonal stage that our reactions can be very impulsive. But if we are, as parents, can be great models of that and what that looks like, you'll be surprised how easy it is to imitate that behavior of calmness. Okay, to wrap up, remember that building strong sibling bonds takes time and patience. And just thinking of my story with my brother, it does take time and there are seasons, right? It's not going to be like this forever. And I get excited just looking at my young adult children and how their bonds have become closer and how it's going to be even more closer when when they're off married and raising their own children. So it's exciting to see that. So just know, mama, that this is going to take time. Give yourself some grace, give your family some grace. But by setting healthy boundaries and encouraging natural connections and fostering meaningful traditions as a family that emphasizes on your core values, you can help your teen and siblings and her siblings, right, your kids, develop a lasting and supportive relationship. Okay, moms, don't forget, you have community of moms just like you waiting for you. So I invite you, this is your invite, to come join us in our family, our family, well, it is a family, our Facebook group for moms raising teen and tween girls. And you can sign up at raisingherconfidently.com to join our community. I'll see you there.
Hey friend, if this podcast inspired you or encouraged you or helped you in any way, I'd love for you to share it. You can screenshot this episode and share it in your stories on social media or text it to a friend who can use the support. It's the best way you can thank me. I want to let other mamas know they are not alone. I'd love to stay connected with you. You can find me at raisingherconfidently.com. Until next time, live full of grace, Jeannie.